Hi there. My name's Acacia Hines. I know it says Braxton. That's my husband. My account's locked, so you're getting me through him. Hi. I'm really glad that you're here, and I'm really glad that I get to share a little bit of my story with you. So I'm going to wait just a few minutes if you're a replay viewer for some of the live viewers to see that I've hopped on and click on, and I see my light is blinking. Let's see if I turn this off. Okay, that's not too bad. So I can share. So let me just wait just a minute. Oh my goodness. Are you gonna be sick? Is that okay? Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and hop in. I'm sure it says I can put a magic wand on. Have you seen that? That's really cool. I'm gonna go ahead and hop in to what I want to share with you, and 'cause I'm not sure who is all gonna hop on, because they aren't going to recognize my name, but that's okay. So my topic is overcoming obstacles and what coaching has done or has helped me done in my life. So I want to talk to you real quick because you're not a coach yet. You're just interested. And so I want to tell you, why I became a coach and what I was kind of looking to get out of it when I started, and now where I'm at 2.5 years down the road, and just, whoa, what it's done in my life. So when I started, this is like the super condensed version, but I was 7 months postpartum. I was out of shape. I wanted, it was postpartum with my first baby. I didn't even know if I could get back to like a physical appearance that I'd be okay with, but I was willing to try. I had this on again, off again cycle with relationship with health and fitness. I would do really good for a while, and then I'd fall off, and I'd be off for a long time, then I'd get back on, and so I just had this on again, off again cycle. I didn't have a support system. I didn't have accountability, and I didn't really think I needed it that much. Other than the on again, off again, when I was on, I did really well. So, but I was teaching full time, and I had a 7-month-old baby, and I really wanted to be home. I had been teaching for about 6 years. I was burnt out, guys. I was really burnt out. I didn't want to do that the rest of my life. I had a master's degree, and still have a master's degree in bilingual education. So not using it seemed wrong, but being gone all day long while somebody else raised my children, that was really a hard pill for me to swallow. Now, if you work full time, I don't want that to be bad. That's fine. If that works for you, that's fine. But it didn't work for me. I wanted to be home. I wanted to be, the person who raised them all day long. I wanted that to be me. I don't know, it's crazy. But no, it's good. So that's kind of it was a twofold process that kind of drew me in. I could get back into shape. I would have a support system. I could, earn an income and potentially get to stay home with my kids. I was like, okay, I'm going to give this a try. Why not? What do I have to lose? Getting back into shape? Okay, that sounds good. So if anything, I was like, I'm going to get results. So, that's a good enough reason to start for me. That's what drew me in. Now, I titled this Overcoming Obstacles because there were some major things that coaching has done for me and is still doing in my life that I just never expected in my wildest dreams that this is something that, an MLM could do. So the first thing it did, coaching helped me break my on again, off again cycle. What coaching does is you kind of put yourself out there just a little bit more than what you naturally would. And because people are watching, and because you're helping people start their journey. And because one of the vital behaviors in coaching is be a product of the product, you are holding yourself to a higher accountability than you normally would. This is your paycheck. Working out is part of your paycheck. And so for me, it helped me break that cycle of working out for a while and then falling off, and then working out for a while and then falling off, because I knew, especially once I started, once I started, getting clients and challengers, that I had to be on my A game. So that's the first major obstacle in my life that coaching really helped me address and helped me overcome, was that cycle of on again, off again. I'm 2.5 years now into coaching, and I can tell you I haven't fallen off, but maybe a couple of times. And when I did fall off, those were maybe a week or less. So 4 or 5 days where I was just in a kind of in a rut or a little funk, and then got the hype back and got back on. Versus in the past, it would have been a couple of months, where I had to undo all my hard work and then I'd be like, oh no, and get back on. So that's like the first thing, like coaching really helped me break that cycle because I put it out there. So the second thing that coaching has helped me overcome or helped me become aware of and helped me learn how to work through, I guess. I'm not sure if this is something that you just completely overcome as far as it's just something that you are conscious of and you can work through it. So people would call me this in high school, and I was like, haha, I didn't really see it as this really big problem until I got older, and then I was like, oh my gosh. So, perfectionism. Perfectionism is one of those things where has to be a certain way, and if you don't perform that certain way, then you feel shame, you feel guilt, or if you know that you're not going to perform in a certain way, then you don't even want to try. You're like, oh, I'm not going to be good at that, I don't even want to try. Or you don't want to share the fact that you're not perfect because people are going to look at you a certain way, which means that you put on this facade of who you are, but that's not really who you are, and everybody sees you a certain way, but then nobody really knows you because you don't share that part because it might make you look bad. So I had this characteristic, this performance base. I needed to perform in a way or be in a certain way that, that's the way people saw me. And I always had to keep this here. And so one thing that coaching has really allowed me to grow in through personal development, through understanding and learning more about because I never saw this as an issue that I had. I mean, I kind of knew it was like a joke that I was a perfectionist, but for me it was more like, well, I just like to do quality work, which I still like to do quality work. But I didn't see it as like a fault, right? Or something that was holding me back. And when I started coaching and I started learning more about like the power of vulnerability and the power of sharing our flaws, and that when we share our flaws, we can actually encourage and inspire and connect with people. I was like, wow, like a whole new door opened up for me that I never realized I was missing out on. And the fact that when I share something that like I'm not super proud of, with an up line, with a spin, with a silver lining, when I say, but I share this like this thing in my life, maybe it's especially with motherhood, there are these things and you just feel like mom guilt. And when you share these things and like you're working through them, especially for me because I'm a Christian, so I work through a lot of that stuff, with my faith and things, that it just connects in such a deep level with so many people who are going through that, and you realize that you're not alone, you're not in the trenches alone, and there's so many people out there. So that's another like kind of obstacle that coaching has really helped me overcome or made me aware of and helped me like really work through. And I think my mama tribe of coaches, when we kind of put it out there and they're just there and they're like, I get it. And we uplift and we encourage and inspire and we motivate. And that's another thing about helping me with the on again, off again cycle. Because if I have a bad day, I know I don't have to pretend, right? I can put it out there, and then I have all this community, this fit family. They're like, you know what? It's okay that you're having a bad day. You can do it, and they encourage you, and so you get back on, right? Because you realize that you're not on this journey alone, and that's like huge. So that's the second thing. The last thing I want to talk to you about is coaching has given me the ability to persevere, and this determination and this like grit that I never really had before. Like I said, with vulnerability, this isn't something that came easy for me. I didn't just be like, I'm a coach and now I'm going to share everything. Like that wasn't something that I did, but I learned slowly, and I've learned how to persevere, and I've learned how when I set goals and I don't hit them and that perfectionism creeps up that says like you're never going to make it, you're not good enough, to work through that and say, yeah, you are. Yes, you can. And those self-doubts and things of that nature. So it's just really been just like, and then there's like the physical things, the physical obstacles. Like, okay, so I hurt my elbow, so you can see like I'm not like upper body strength mama. but like I worked to be able to do, I could do 4 chin-ups before I had my second baby. So now I'm working back up through that. So it's shown me that like I put these self-limiting caps, you know, like, oh, I could never do a pull-up. I could never do that. And I've learned, like, yeah, you can. It's not something you can do right now, but it's something that you can definitely, with consistency over time and a little bit at a time, like you can do it, you can get there. So it's just, yeah, it's been so much. I could go on and on and on, but you're going to hear from so many other women in this group who have these amazing stories that coaching has brought to their life. And yes, there is financial freedom, and yes, there is health and wellness, but beyond that, for me, it's like this amazing community, this amazing friendship that you can't find anywhere else. You can't find someone who wants you to be your very, very best self, physically, spiritually, emotionally, mentally. This group that is going to constantly and always lift you up. There is never pettiness. There's never putting down. It's not a competition. It's a way of how can we help each other be our best, and how can we help each other help other women be their best, which I find so refreshing. So, especially because I was in a female-dominated industry before, and that's not always what you found. You found a lot of not that. So anyway, okay, well, thanks for tuning in. If you have any questions or anything more that you want to know, I would love to come back and comment on them. So just post them below, and I'll talk to you later. Bye, guys.